According to my mother, her family was once very poor. The ancestral couple was old and childless. One winter, the old woman heard peeps from baby chicks. This was highly unlikely in the snow-covered landscape of northern China winter. She went outside anyway, just to satisfy her curiosity. She found 5 eggs. She picked up the front of her top, cradled the eggs in the fold, and carried them into the house. Despite her old age, she subsequently gave birth to 5 sons. All 5 sons took the imperial exam at some point and won first place, some in the literary side and some in the martial arts side. They were all awarded land and government positions. My mother's family compound was built around the remnants of the old dwelling. My mother told the story as real family history. As a child, my mother loved playing in the room where ancestral items were stored. There were weapons from ancestors who held military positions. There were beads and costumes for imperial court appearances. She used to put on the imperial court hat and wield the weapons around for fun. The wooden pillars in front of my mother's family compound were so thick that it took 3 men with arms stretched to wrap around it. Such thick pillars were granted by the emperor as a symbol for the first place in the imperial exam. My daughter and I visited my mother's hometown and spoke with some old people who remember those pillars and the family compound. How does one distinguish facts from legend? More importantly, how does one live with family legends and stories? My sister seems to have chosen to take from life what she can and when she can. My brother wants to do whatever it takes to be on top of the pyramid scheme. I feel it's my responsibility to fix everything and save everyone from suffering. None of us is living lives that are free from the past and guided by lessons learned. Strangely enough, my mother's family legends sound so much like other legends from different cultures around the world. What continues to amaze me through the stories and other legends is the power and mystery of life itself. What is it that keeps people going when everything seems so grim? What are we to learn from the legends and stories, and how should they guide us in our journey through life? While the specific answers to these questions are clearly very personal, my mother gave me my answer in a dream decades ago that I am only beginning to really understand. Some years have passed after my mother's death. I was still stuck in an emotional knot with my mother that was not to be resolved for many more years. The entanglement was mostly subconscious, and I had little inkling as to what the issues were. There were lots of regret and guilt, and I never really cried over her death. That was definitely not socially accepted behavior. In a dream, I saw my mother and a younger and healthier version of herself than the last decades of her life. She was beyond my reach on the other side of a glass sliding door. She was on a rustic, beautiful wooden deck over a river in the woods, my dream setting for a house. A thought came to me. She was in a better place. Then her image began to fade into a bright, star-shaped light in her forehead. In the next instant, the light was gone. The dream was vivid and felt more real than real life. I can see it now in my mind's eyes. In those days, I have never heard of the third eye. It is only now that I have finished telling her tale I understand the message. Life is more than what meets the eye. Facts and legends coexist like the two sides of a coin. People go on even when everything seems so grim because there is much more than we can see. Life is light, a light that is mysterious and beyond our conventional comprehension. We go on even when there seems to be no light at the end of the tunnel because we are the light. We are here not to crawl through the tunnel to reach the light, but to be the light no matter where we are under any circumstances. Once again, humanity is facing serious challenges in the world. We can no longer simply react to the past and repeat patterns that land us in trouble, perpetuating suffering and environmental harm. Neuroscience studies have shown that the unconscious runs our lives. Therefore, if we were to live consciously instead of simply reacting to the past, we have to shine light on what lies hidden in the unconscious. In doing so, we just might come face to face with the light within ourselves. This light will free us from our dependence on the external world for satisfaction, peace, and love. This light will not only brighten our own lives, but will lighten up the whole world. I want to thank you for sharing with me my journey in bringing forth my family legend and story from the unconscious to the conscious. I hope there is something in the story that resonates with you and can empower us to evolve beyond the past as we become our light.